WOFFORD.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Can you tell the jurors how you were currently employed, sir?
I am retired lieutenant at the Fulton County Sheriff's Office.
Okay. And
Retired
how long
lieutenant.
were you employed by the Fulton County Sheriff's Office?
Over 21 years.
Okay.
We're going to adjust that mic. It's really not that one. Well, we can give that one a shot. If that one doesn't work, move that other one towards you.
You said you worked there for how long?
21 years.
Okay. And can you tell the jurors, where within the Sheriff's Department were you employed?
At the jail.
Okay. And can you tell the jurors what did you do, or what did your employment entail at the jail?
Well, I started off as a floor deputy, moved to sergeant, moved to lieutenant, did security, was over security, unit manager over security, and unit manager in the watch commander's office.
And can you tell the jurors, as the lieutenant who managed security for the jail, and where's the jail located?
901 Rice Street.
Okay. And is that here within Fulton County, City of Atlanta?
Yes, it is.
And can you tell the jurors a little bit about your role as kind of head of security at the Fulton County Jail?
This basically made sure all of the checkpoints were manned, all the equipment was functioning. Was the custodian of the Pelco system that we had, which is the camera system. Also the secure system, which was the telephone communication system. Made sure all the fences didn't have holes in them, things like that. Made sure there was no areas that could be penetrated as far as escapes and stuff like that.
Okay. And you referenced you were the custodian for the Pelco system. Can you tell the jurors what is that system?
The Pelco system is the system within the jail that basically monitors the jail itself. It's in the pods of where the inmates are housed, but it's also all around the facility. And I had access to it.
Okay. And I won't ask you how many cameras, but were there cameras throughout and all over the Fulton County Jail?
Yes.
And can you tell the jurors a little bit, were you trained in, I guess, being able to pull information or data from the Pelco system for any specific event?
Yes.
Yes. And can you tell the jurors, were you able to, I guess, narrow down a time frame and pull footage for a specific time frame that you were looking for?
Yes, but I would usually go a little bit before and a little bit after just to make sure I captured the whole incident.
And is the footage that you would be able to pull and view, is that footage stored within a secured database as it relates to, I guess, all the recordings for each day from the Fulton County Jail?
That's correct.
Okay. And is that how you're able to access any amount of data that you were looking for as it relates to footage?
Correct.
Okay. Now, can you tell the jurors, as head of security, were you aware that other deputies working within the jail wore body cameras?
Correct.
And as the lieutenant on duty, were you able to pull and view a body camera related to any specific deputy on duty?
Yes.
Okay. And is that something that you did fairly regularly before you retired?
Yes.
Okay. And can you tell the jurors the system in which the body camera footage is stored in the ordinary course of business?
It's called evidence.com.
Okay. And is the company Axum?
Yes, Axum. Yes.
And based on your security clearance as lieutenant, were you able to regularly view any of the body cam footage as it related to the deputies who worked within the Fulton County Jail?
Yes.
And is that something that you did on a regular basis, like you described with the Pelco system, as one of your duties when working?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want to direct your attention to February 9th of 2022. Were you a lieutenant then, still not retired as it relates to the Fulton County Sheriff's Department?
Yes.
And can you tell the jurors, did you become aware of an aggravated assault or a stabbing within the jail?
Yes.
And before we get into that, can you explain to the jurors, I guess, how the jail is set up, how many floors, and you mentioned pods. Can you talk a little bit about that?
There's 7 floors in the jail, and on each floor you have 6 pods within the jail. You have 400, 500, 600, 100, 200, 300, and then you have 700, 800. 700 is where the deputies on the floor are housed, or office, and have computers and stuff. But and 800 is where the gym is, where they have their recreation.
Okay.
And that's on every floor. That setup is on every floor.
Okay. And on each floor, and I guess in the area of each pod, are there specific deputies assigned either to each pod individually or a number of pods that they monitor throughout their shift?
Deputies are, you have north and south. So you have deputies from one all the way up. You have north and south, and there's deputies on each floor in each pod. Well, not in each pod, on each floor on each side.
Okay. And as it relates to February 9th of 2022, were you able to locate and pull video surveillance from the Pelco system as it relates to the stabbing?
Yes.
Okay. And I want to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 125, Victor Victor. And let me know if you recognize that.
Yes, I do.
And can you tell the jurors how you recognize it and what it is?
It's the video footage of the incident that occurred on February 9th.
Okay. And I'll go ahead and show you also State's Exhibit 124, Victor Victor. Do you recognize that exhibit?
Yes, it's also, the first one was the body cam, the second one was the Pelco system.
Okay. And was that footage that you were able to pull of the body cam as well as the Pelco video surveillance as it relates to the stabbing you became aware of on February 9th of 2022?
That's correct.
Okay. At this time around, the state will tender State's Exhibit 124, Victor Victor, which is the Pelco video surveillance, and then 125, Victor Victor, which is the body cam related to the stabbing.
All right, those are both admitted.
Okay. Now, can you tell the jurors, based on your investigation in conjunction with other deputies who were working in the Fulton County Jail, can you tell the jurors the inmates that were involved in the violent incident?
Bennett and Myrick.
Okay. And can you tell the jurors, as it relates to Mr. Bennett and Mr. Myrick, did you view the video surveillance of the actual stabbing from the Pelco system?
I did.
Okay. And were you able to actually, I guess, locate? Let me ask a better question. Was the violent event, was it actually captured on the video surveillance?
It was.
Okay. And can you describe to the jurors, before we play it, the video surveillance as it relates to the Pelco system, the quality of, I guess, the video? Is it something that it's HD and, you can see everything like it's, standing before you, or is it a little different?
It's a little different. I mean, it's, you could see, but it's a little different.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, permission to publish
Good night.
State's Exhibit 124. Your Honor, just for the record, because it takes a minute to pull up, I already pulled it up from my desktop. And before we start playing the video surveillance in, I guess, the still frame in State's Exhibit 124 BV at 6:45 and 28 seconds p.m. That evening on February 9th, do you see the individual who's in, I guess, kind of the middle,
Yeah.
far right-hand side?
There's something over the video. I don't want to touch it.
Okay. See?
Yeah.
You see the individual that's standing, I guess, in the far middle right-hand corner of the exhibit?
Yes.
And can you tell the jurors, is that Jayden Myrick?
That's correct.
Okay. And in your review of the footage, I guess, can you just go ahead and explain to the jurors where we are in the jail in this video?
This is 6 North Zone 600
Okay.
at the Fulton County Jail.
And you see in the video, there's 2 floors, the bottom and I guess the top floor where the stairs lead. Do you see the numbers, for example, 616, 615, 614, what are those?
Those are individual cells.
Okay, and in the individual cells, is that where inmates who were being housed at Fulton County Jail would reside during their time there?
That's correct.
Okay, and can you tell the jurors, based on your number of years with the Sheriff's Department, ending your career as a lieutenant there, can you kind of explain to the jurors, I guess, the process and procedure as it relates to individual inmates, I guess, coming out of the cell to make video calls or phone calls using the secure system that you
Well,
spoke about?
this particular zone, I think this was the PC zone. I'm almost sure it was. And in those zones, there's only supposed to be one individual out at a time. for their hour or however long they were out. I think it was an hour to take care of whatever they need to take care of as far as attorneys or showers or visitation or whatever they're doing.
And can you explain to the jurors who said the PC zone? What is that
That's
term mean?
protective custody.
Okay. Now, you referenced two inmates being Mr. Myrick, which we see in states with 124 BB, is the second individual that you referenced, last name Bennett, is that Rayshawn Bennett?
That's correct.
Okay. And you're working at the jail and working there while Mr. Bennett was in custody. Do you know a nickname that he goes by?
I don't.
Okay. Does the nickname Lucci, does that ring a bell?
It sounds familiar, but I don't. I've heard it, that name, but.
And as the video is playing, I just want to see if we can orient the jurors a little bit. You see in the exhibit where the second set of stairs that are towards the back of the right-hand side of the State Exhibit 124 BV. You described there's when the inmates are out, they're able to make either video visitation calls or normal phone calls. Can you kind of orient the jurors, I guess, the area that would take place in this pod?
Well, if they're going to do like commissary or stuff like that, the one down at the bottoms for their commissary and things of that nature.
Right. Do me a favor, stand up and point at the large screen for them.
This box right here is where they're going to do their commissary and things of that nature. This box up here is where they're going to do their video visitations and things of that nature.
And as you can see in the exhibit, at 640, 651, you see Mr. Myrick kind of walking around on the pod. Can you explain to the jurors how he's able to do that?
I'm figuring that's his time out to do what he needs to do as far as his hygiene or calls, if he's talking to a lawyer or whatever he needs to do for that amount of time that he's out.
Okay, so when an inmate, when it's their time, their hour, they're able to walk about freely. They're able to walk about freely, as you can
Yes,
see.
yes, yes.
Now, as you continue to review the video, is there a time where you can see Mr. Rayshawn Bennett also come out and get released from his cell?
There is a time, yes.
I'm going to move to 6:57 p.m. in the exhibit. And at 6:58:08 p.m. on February 9th, 2022, do you see in the top middle right-hand side of State Exhibit 124 BB the individual upstairs in a white shirt?
Yes.
And can you tell the jurors, is that Mr. Rayshawn Bennett after he's been released from his cell?
Appears to be race. Yes, Mr. Bennett.
And can you explain to the jurors, is he near the area that you just talked about where video visitation takes place?
Yes.
I'm still all the way stuck on this juror. Like all day, guys, my bad.
You see in the exhibit, as the video plays, both Mr. Bennett and Mr. Myrick out in 6 North 600, is this typical that 2 inmates are out at the same time?
No,
And can you tell the jurors why not?
because we wouldn't want to mix them up in case something would happen. So the one that was out, Mr. Myrick, should have been put up.
For efficiency, I'm going to move to 7:01 p.m. in the video. And at 7:01 and 15 seconds, Lieutenant, do you see Mr. Bennett headed towards the video visitation area being followed by Mr. Myrick?
That's correct.
Now, Lieutenant, as the fight's going on, can you tell the jurors, in each one of the pods, where are the deputies in relation to the inmates, for example, the ones who we're watching right now? Like where does this deputy come from?
He comes, I'm assuming from the other side. This happened in 600, so I'm assuming he was in maybe 100, 200, or 300.
I can ask a
Strange.
different question.
All right.
So the deputies, as it relates to when they're working on during their shift, here this is 6 North 600. Just one deputy works several pods.
Yes,
And throughout their shift, are they, I guess, monitoring pods from 600 North, 600
yes,
South and around?
yes, around their housing pod that they're assigned to, yes.
And can you tell the jurors, is there, I guess, a watchtower, for example, where an individual is monitoring the Pelco system or the video surveillance system?
No, they're not watching the Pelco, they're actually watching the inmates
Okay.
in the same pod area or same housing floor area.
And if an incident like this occurs, does the person in the watchtower alert deputies?
Yes.
And is that how they, I guess, get to the pods as quickly as they can?
Correct.
All right. Okay. Now, can you tell the jurors, well, first let me show you State's Exhibits 1, 125, Victor, A, B, and C. Do you recognize those exhibits, sir?
Yes.
And can you tell the jurors, how do you recognize those?
These are pictures taken during the investigation of the victim of this incident.
And when you say victim, can you tell the jurors who considers the victim as it relates to this violent act?
Inmate Bennett.
And do those photographs in State's Exhibit 125, B, A, B, and C fairly and accurately depict the injuries that Mr. Bennett suffered on February 9th of 2022?
Correct.
Your Honor, at this time, the State would tender remark to State's Exhibits 125 Victor Victor A B C.
Sure.
Any of that?
No.
Okay, they're admitted without objection.
Okay. So at this time, the state's going to publish State's Exhibit 125 on the body cameras. And while pulling the body camera up, can you tell the jurors how the body camera works within, I guess, the Fulton County Jail with the sheriff's deputies?
If an inmate is in a, if the deputy is in some kind of a confrontation or situation that needs to be captured to further the investigation, they put their body cams on. And it's also there to protect them.
And can you tell the jurors, as it relates to each deputy who's monitoring any pod within any of the floors that you described here today, are the deputies armed with guns or anything like that?
No, they're armed with the body cam and other essential equipment that they would need: radio, handcuffs, OC, taser if they have one.
Put it down. Put it down. Put it down.
Shoot me.
Put it down. 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 I ain't got one. Put it down. Put it down.
Hey, I chill out, bro. Nah, that man just smoking it. You don't suck shit. So?
Put it down.
I didn't want to go straight up.
Move. Listen, if you stab me, I ain't gonna step back.
I nigga that stuck me.
Put it down.
I ain't got what the fuck you telling me for. I ain't out.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
I'm trying to kill this fuck, man. Shit.
Move.
All jail units, so you're not emergency traffic. All need assistance.
Step back. Step back. Step back.
So what's the situation?
Step back. Step back. Step back.
Please, an inmate, zone 600.
I didn't push though, I was trying to fight.
Get down. Get down. Don't slide the weapon nowhere. Get down. Get down, motherfucker. Get down. Get down.
Oh, down, bro. You the one.
Roll over on your back.
You the one shoot me. You want to shoot me? That shit lame. Hey man, they shot me. I ain't had no money.
Shut up, you do.
Huh? What you did? What you did? Hey man, they shot me.
Lieutenant is that body cam for Deputy Edward. Deputy Edward was monitoring the homicide night.
Correct.
Now, I want to show you this last body camera. You tell the jurors, Lieutenant, is it, I guess, common for more than one deputy when it's called over the radio?
Yes.
There's an incident to arrive.
Yes.
And through your investigation, can you tell the jurors, was a weapon found as it relates to the incident we just witnessed with the stabbing?
Yes.
Can you explain to the jurors what it was?
It's called a shank.
Okay. And can you describe to the jurors what is a shank?
It's a homemade weapon or a weapon made in jail by inmates. An edge weapon.
I want to show you this second video on State's Exhibit 125, Victor Victor. And then for the record, I'm going to start at 1 minute and 37 seconds.
You can stand down on 6 North. Situation under control.
Oh, you got popped.
I ain't got no gloves on me. Some gloves. Pick that up. Can you put that on your pick that, no, wrap it up in your glove, take your glove off and wrap it in your glove.
No, put them in there.
We gotta say them.
Is that the shank, Lieutenant?
Yes, that was found.
Is this guy like all ready with no gloves?
Now, I'm going to put on the screen State's Exhibit 124, Victor B. And can you describe for the jurors through your investigation the injuries that we see here in 125 Victor B that Mr. Rayshawn Bennett sustained from being stabbed with a shank?
Those are wounds that were obtained during the incident. By Bennett got stabbed with, and that's the outcome of it.
What?
Through your investigation, was Mr. Myrick at all, I guess, injured or sustained any injuries from the, I guess, the fight, stabbing that we saw on video?
I didn't see any. I don't know if the nurses, I don't know as far as him, if he was injured or anything.
No, I don't got any further questions.
All right, are there
They're passing
defense
the
questions
witness.
for this witness? Sure.
Good morning, Captain Wofford.
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant Wofford.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, I apologize.
No problem.
My name is Max Shard. I represent Shannon Stillwell, who's seated to my right. Just a couple questions. I just want to make sure I have this correct. I know that you've corrected me, you're a lieutenant. Were you the person within the jail responsible for investigating this incident?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so that was in your purview?
Yes.
All right, great. Now, my first question is, I think we just saw in the body cam, Deputy Edwards, I thought I heard a taser gun. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. Who was tased?
Both of them.
Both individuals were tased?
I understand. Yes. From what I saw.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, as I understood your testimony, correct me if I'm wrong, this occurred in the protective custody dorm, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you indicated, I believe, that there was only supposed to be one person, when I say person, I mean a person that's an inmate at the time, walking around the floor at a time.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
And so that doesn't just apply to Jayden Myrick and Rayshawn Bennett. That applies to all the people, the inmates, I don't like that term, but inmates that are in that pod,
In 600. Yes.
in 600.
Yes.
So no two people are supposed to be on the floor at the same time.
Correct.
Okay. How is that ensured? Can you explain, for instance, are there locks on the individual doors to the rooms?
Yes.
Oh,
Once their doors close, it locks.
okay, and who controls those locks?
Tower.
Okay, so am I correct that the tower, ideally, the way it's supposed to work is the tower lets one person out onto the floor and then doesn't let anyone else out until that person returns back to their room?
Ideally, whoever's out, they go in first, they lock the doors, and whoever's supposed to come out next comes out.
Okay. In the video, as I understood it, Mr. Myrick was out walking the floor, correct?
Correct.
And then Mr. Bennett exited his door to enter the floor as well,
Correct.
which would be against the protocol.
Correct.
What happened?
From my understanding, from the reports that I got, he was supposed to go up. I'm not sure why he didn't go inside or whatever, and he was left out. I don't know because I wasn't up there.
Well, presumably, if the idea is to keep the gentleman separate, or any two individuals separate, the person that's in the room, their door would not be unlocked until the other person is securely locked in their room, correct? That's how it's supposed to work.
That's how it's supposed to work. I'm not sure what the incident was or why it happened that way. There could have been a number of things. I don't know. Maybe the tower person didn't see him walking around. I'm not sure. I'm not making any excuses. I don't know. But ideally, one person's supposed to go up, the other one's supposed to go in.
Did you do, as part of your investigation at the jail, did you do kind of a historical look to see if that was a common instance that had been happening over the last month, we'll say, with two people on the floor at the same time?
No.
Okay, so we don't know if this is that incident or that situation with two people that are in 600 being on the floor at the same time. We're not sure if that happened at all over the past month. We just know that it happened on that particular day.
Day, yes.
Okay. I have no further questions. Thank you.
I have questions. What is going on?
Good morning, Lieutenant Wofford.
Good morning.
My name's Doug Weinstein. I represent Diamante Kendrick. Just a few questions. I think you indicated to Mr. Shart that only one of the people held in custody should have been on the floor at a time, correct?
Outside the,
Outside the cell.
yes,
And you don't know why there were two that were out there at the same time, right?
I don't.
Okay. Is it possible for, and I'm going to again use the unfortunate term inmate, is it possible for an inmate to release himself from the cell?
Yeah,
It is. How would they go about doing that?
move the door.
It's not locked? It is not locked.
What, the door? Yeah, it's locked. They've moved the door when it was locked.
Okay. So even though they're in protective custody, it's possible for multiple inmates to be on the floor at the
I'm
same time?
not saying in that pod. I'm just talking, you said generally in the jail, correct?
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me be more specific. In that particular pod in 600?
It shouldn't be, but things are put in the doors where you think the door's shut and they can move it.
Okay. And I think we all saw the deputy respond to that fight taking place where he strolls out. Is that the normal procedure, just to kind of slowly walk out there, or generally are they encouraged to have some urgency?
Well, we like to survey the scene first before we go into an incident that could possibly hurt us.
Okay. Do you know how many people held in custody in Fulton County Jail in 2022 when this happened?
Capacity?
Let's clarify. Hold on. No, I haven't finished the question. I'm sorry. Within all of the Fulton County Jail, which goes by Rice Street, correct? People call it Rice Street?
Yes, sir.
So within Rice Street in 2022, do you know how many of the inmates there were killed or died in 2022?
Object to relevance.
Sustained.
Okay, I have no further questions.
Perfect. All right, we are
You can
switching
after,
over.
if there's any redirect.
We are going to